Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls Free Lore. I just quickly want to say thank you for all the likes, the kind words on the previous lore video. I really appreciate it. It means it means a hell of a lot to me. And I hope you enjoy this episode of Dark Souls Lore, where we are going to be looking at an NPC I really wish there was some more lore info about, but unfortunately, we have to go with what we got. Today we are looking at the exile from Courland, Ludleth and the Soul Feeder. At the start of the game, we find Ludleth in the Firelink Shrine. He is sitting on top of his throne as a Lord of Cinder, telling us that he is indeed a Lord of Cinder, even though he is pretty much a burnt corpse. Now, this isn't the interesting part of Ludleth, but rather the ring we can find when we link the fire by delivering the remaining Lords of Cinder, or by simply just killing him. We find the Skull Ring, which says the following. One of Courland's transposed wonders, derived from the soul of a Soul Feeder. The Soul Feeder was a beast that insatiably absorbed souls to feed its own power, even after its accursed corpse was burned. It is said that the pungent stench of souls left the air permanently stained. Now this is an interesting ring we find on Ludleth, which does make you wonder if Ludleth is the Soul Feeder, or rather what was the Soul Feeder. Personally, I don't think Ludleth was the Soul Feeder. As for why, here are my thoughts. In the game, we constantly deliver him twisted souls to transpose them in the transposing kiln. If he was the Soul Feeder, wouldn't he have consumed the twisted souls to increase his own power? We know that NPCs can leave the Firelink Shrine, so if he was the Soul Feeder, why didn't he? Also, Ludleth's throne is wrong. Each one is made with a Lord of Cinder in mind. Eldritch's throne has intricate details in the cloth draped over his throne, and its carvings on the side of the chair mirrors that of the Chapel of the Deep. It also appears to be covered in blood, which would suit with Aldrich's love of eating. Also, Yurm the Giant's throne mirrors that of the profane capital, with arches on the throne and carvings on the back of the chair depicting most likely what is the profane flame. When you inspect Ludleth's throne, it appears wrong. It is really large for someone so small. And yet the cloth on the drapes from the center of the chair has incredible details, even though they are faded and appear to be lost to time. So no, I don't think he was the Soul Feeder, but before we touch on what the Soul Feeder might have been, I want to mention something which is interesting. He knows of the Fireless Shrine and the untended graves. When we find the eyes of the Firekeeper, he says,
"Ah, found her, did we? And the black eyes that shimmer within I see. 'Tis as if it were but yesterday. We did all we could to spare her from them. Much has happened since. Mayhap I should apprise thee of what the thin light of these eyes might reveal to the eyeless Firekeeper. Scenes of betrayal, things never intended for her ken, visions of this age's end."
Also, this is interesting for me.
"Treat the Firekeeper not with discourtesy. She is much like thee, prisoners both, kept to link the fire."
From this and the way he speaks, we can actually gather that he's actually from a very different era. An era where the fire was removed from the world. As we know, that time in Lothric is convoluted and twisted. We can see this at the kiln of the first flame. The world and time itself is broken. So, onto the Soul Feeder. Not much, if any, is known of what it was. Hopefully in the DLC we might get some answers, but till then we can only guess. The following is pure speculation. I feel that the Soul Feeder was a champion of Courland, who was meant to link the flame, who most likely slew twisted souls to absorb their power into itself. But in its quest to grow in power, it must have become obsessed with power and the power of twisted souls. eventually having enough power to link the flame but refusing to link the flame which was its duty. We know the Fireless Shrine is a world born out of betrayal. Maybe the Soul Feeder slew the Firekeeper to get her soul, to bring an end to the cycle of fire. We know that Ludleth took the mantle of Lord himself to link the flame. Maybe he linked the flame in hope that someone will bring an end to an age of fire, to end his suffering, and to bring atonement for the murder of the first Firekeeper.
See not. I am a lord. A wee flame, belike. But I shoulder the world. Forgive me. Oh, please. I am not to blame. I'm not. It singes to the bone. It hurts. Please, help me. Be done with me. No, God, no. I cannot bear it. It burns. Help me. Well met. All is as planned, is it not? 5 lords for 5 thrones. To think others might ne'er be raised, and I, of the last lords, a rather little lord, most undeserving of the honour. Speak with the Firekeeper. She awaiteth thee. She hath waited a long time indeed.
But whatever the true story of the Soul Feeder, Ludleth of Courland, or Ludleth the Exiled, is truly an interesting NPC. Hopefully we will learn more about him in the upcoming DLC.
I took the mantle of Lord of Cinder of mine own volition. I speak these words with pride. Choose thy fate alone. Seize it with thine own hands. All the more should thy fate entail such foul betrayal.
And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please click like below. I'm hoping to do more Dark Souls lore videos in the coming future, especially if the DLC comes out. But till then, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.